Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing as we sing the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Berkowitz, Dr. Ostacher, Dr. Green, Mr. Finman, members of staff, honored retirees, the representative of the class of 1942, families, friends, the class of 92, and most importantly, Raj. As I stand here tonight, looking at 200 of my fellow classmates, it's hard for me not to think about what the future has in store for us. It is uncertain for most, if not all of us. For some, the future has success in store. For others, it has failure in store. Whether or not the future is filled with success is up to you, the individual. The potential for greatness that we all possess as human beings is extraordinary. If not at least tap into it, will be a tragedy. Some of you out there may be thinking, what is he trying to say? First of all, I'm tempted to say that you should leave Nyack High School with an open mind and aggressive attitude. Go out to the world, ready to learn from others, your mistakes, and most importantly, your failures. Don't be discouraged by failing at one thing or another, for it is what you learn from your failures and how you apply them to your future endeavors that will result in ultimate success. Secondly, I want to say, it is what you do today that will shape tomorrow. If you do something half-heartedly, your results will be mediocre. But if you use the resources available to you to maximum ability, the results will be astonishing. There are numerous opportunities available to us as high school graduates. Self-discipline, courage, hard work, sacrifice, and realistic goal setting are the key elements to taking advantage of these opportunities. And finally, if you go away from here tonight not remembering a single thing of what I've said, just remember this: in whatever you do, do it to your best. Thank you.
Good evening. I just want to stand here, looking at all of you in those robes, and feel all the excitement and anticipation that we all share tonight. I want to paint this picture in my mind so that I'll never forget it. But I know that the part of the ceremony that we wait for anxiously is the end, so I'll be brief. I remember my first day at kindergarten. I couldn't speak a word of English. All the other kids looked right at home, like they had known each other forever. I felt like the only one who was scared in the whole world. My mom didn't want to leave me there. She was afraid I'd cry all day. The teacher finally convinced her to leave. I remember crying while I watched the blue Ford station wagon drive off into what seemed like oblivion. I thought they were going to leave me there and get rid of me and put me in a new home. The teacher, Rhonda, said something I didn't understand, and then she smiled. The smile I understood. I want you to all look back. Try to remember your first day of school and how it made you feel. Remember always those qualities that children possess: openness, curiosity, and courage to test the boundaries that society puts before them. These qualities are in all of us. They enable us as adults to laugh, to cry, to accept, and to challenge. Wherever life takes you, don't ever lose the child on the first day of school that entered ready to handle a new and unfamiliar world. These costumes that they make us wear, they stand for our accomplishments as people and as students. The only problem with them is that they make us all look the same, somewhere underneath the hats and robes, like completely different individuals. We may all be in the same situation now, but where we've been, where we're going, and who we are, these experiences are unique to each individual. High school is tough. 4 years of growing, changing, learning, screaming, cramming, sometimes full of enthusiasm, other times pretending to be interested in order to survive. Going to bed each night realizing that you're one day closer to this moment when it finally ends. 4 years of this, and now what? For some of us, another 2 or 4 or even 10. It doesn't end, because each time the end is reached, like tonight, a new beginning takes its place. We are always learning, always exploring, questioning, and hopefully, always dreaming. Thank you.
Before I give my prepared remarks, I have a letter to read to you. This is a letter I received dated June 10th, 1992, and it reads as follows. Dear Dr. Berkowitz, thank you very much for affording me the opportunity to commend Stella Blassenheim, E. Bradley Bobb, Lindora Campbell, Teresa Dugan, Robert Fisher, Jean Hall, Elizabeth Lloyd, Joseph Peroni, Carolyn Szynski, Edith Weingarten, and Edith Wilde on the occasion of their retirement. I'm grateful for your good offices in conveying the enclosed certificates to the retirees at an appropriate time during the celebration. As you do so, please also convey my thanks for their many contributions and my warm wishes for a healthy and fulfilling retirement. Sincerely, Thomas Sobel, Commissioner of Education and President of the University of the State of New York. I have a certificate that is prepared for each person, signed by the Commissioner, dated June 25th, 1992. And for each person it says, that person is hereby given, this certificate of recognition is hereby given in appreciation for many years of dedication to the teaching profession and for commitment to the people of the state of New York and to the ideal of educational success for all. With us tonight are 5 of the people whose names I just read to you in that letter, and I'd like them to stand and be recognized. I'll call them by name, and if you'll hold your applause until all are standing, I'd appreciate that. Lindora Campbell, E. Bradley Bobb, Joseph Peroni, Edith Weingarten, Stella Blassenheim. The people standing before you represent 145 years. Thank you very much. And after the ceremony, I have the certificates to share with you. Oh, there goes 145 years. And now to remarks. I want to say a few words to the class of 1992. The rest of you can listen if you want to. Class of 1992, do not get nervous. I've already signed your diplomas. However, I must tell you that graduation is not an end, but a beginning. That, in fact, is why we hold commencement exercises and not termination exercises. Because it is a great and wondrous beginning, I, as superintendent of schools, feel it is my responsibility to give you an assignment. I don't feel bad about doing this because I believe that if you do what I tell you, it will help you to become highly successful. Your assignment is to read a book or listen to the tape, which is also available, and the title is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. A book I love and a book I want to share with you just a little bit. Here's a head start to summarize the 7 habits that Stephen Covey teaches about. 1, the habit of personal vision. Be proactive human beings. Have the freedom to choose. Our basic nature is to act, not be acted upon. Make promises to yourself and others and keep them. Make the locus of your control come from the inside of you, not from the outside. The saying of the 60s, my era, if you are not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. 2, the habit of personal leadership. Begin with the end in mind. All things are created twice, once in our thoughts, then in our actions. The good carpenter measures twice and cuts once. Be guided what is deeply important to you. The wise traveler knows that if you don't know where you are going, then any road will take you there. Set your mission. Number 3, the habit of personal management. Put first things first. Make decisions based on principles and values. Focus on results. Ask yourself this question: what is one thing I could do on a regular basis that by doing would have a positive change on my life and or on the lives of those I love? When you answer that question, do it. Number 4, the habit of interpersonal leadership. Think win-win. This habit is based on the belief that the world offers plenty for everyone. Find those who have this abundance philosophy and hang out with them. Number 5, the habit of empathic communication. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This may be the most difficult and yet the most life-changing habit of all. When you listen to people, you validate them. When you become an empathic listener, one who can be influenced by others, you will find yourself listened to and loved and respected more than you have ever dreamed possible. Now there are 2 more habits left. And I just realized that if I tell you what they are, you might not read the book or listen to the tape. So I hope that the first 5 make sense to you and you will want to learn the secret of success. I believe that under those conditions, you will complete the assignment. Finally, let me tell you that as you think about moving into your new world as a new alum of Nyack High, that right now, while you are thinking, at this precise moment, you are as a ship in a harbor. I must point out to you that although a ship in the harbor is safe, That is not what ships were built for. I am excited for you. I am happy for you. I hope you will come back and tell me of the wondrous places you see in the world and the exciting adventures you have. I thank you for letting me share in your commencement day. Congratulations to you and to your loved ones, and of course, bon voyage.
As the president of the class of 1942, a class of 120 that held its graduation exercises on the auditorium stage of that grand old school building to your left 50 years ago, it gives me great pleasure to convey our congratulations and best wishes to you, the class of 1992. The most noticeable difference in appearance between the graduating classes of 1942 and 1992 is that in 1942, the young ladies wore long white gowns, and the young men wore white jackets, white shirts, bow ties, and black trousers. In 1942, it was the middle of the Second World War. We crossed the river to Tarrytown by ferry boat. It was possible to use the northern line of the Erie Railroad, beginning in Nyack to travel to Weehawken and take the ferry to New York City. We attended school in the before era. Before era meaning before television, before computers, before jet airplanes, TZ bridge, penicillin, polio shots, frozen food, Xerox, microwaves, unleaded gasoline, instant coffee, plastic, contact lenses, frisbees, radar, credit cards, laser beams, ballpoint pens, before pantyhose, dishwashers, camcorders, clothes dryer, electric blankets, air conditioners, and before man walked on the moon. Bunnies were small rabbits, and rabbits were not Volkswagens. We never heard of FM radio, tape decks, electronic typewriters, fax machines, car phones, pacemakers, artificial hearts, word processors, yogurt, and guys wearing earrings. Time sharing meant togetherness, and not with a computer or condominium. A chip meant a piece of wood. Hardware meant hardware, and software wasn't even heard of. 5 and 10 cent stores sold things for 5 and 10 cents. Ice cream cones sold for a nickel or a dime, and for a nickel or a dime you could ride the subway, make a phone call, buy a soda, or enough stamps to mail 3 letters. You could buy a new Ford or Chevy coupe for about $800, but few people could afford one. A pity, because gas was only 11 cents a gallon. Men didn't use profanity when ladies were present, and ladies didn't use it at all. I'm sure that many more could be added to this list, and we can only wonder what a list like this would consist of when the members of the class of 1992 celebrate their 50th anniversary reunion in the year 2042. They say it's all relevant to the time. No matter how different we appeared, I am sure that we all appreciate receiving an excellent education in Nyack. And now to the class of 1992, may all your future goals be achieved, and your love for your teachers, classmates, and Nyack High School never end. Thank you.
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh outweighed the bad. I thought we get to sing forever, but forever's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. I don't know where this road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. If we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth all the wait. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to
Members of the graduating class of 1992, parents, honored guests, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Berkowitz, and high school administration. It is my pleasure to bring greetings tonight from the faculty. I guess that I will make my speech thanks for the memories. I want to thank most of you for the additional gray hairs that we now have, but the thrills and chills that you provided, the memories that you leave us with, the great leaps of Cedric, the great baskets of Mickey, the gracious runs of Jermaine, the lovely flowers, Rose and Violet, the laughter of Marion, the sweetness of Carol, the fun and loving Teddy, and so many more. We thank you for those good times. To the three gentlemen that I named, I thank them for being members of my economics class, and must inform you that I've sent your resumes to Mr. Bush, Mr. Clinton, and Mr. Perot. Should you hear from them, please return a response. And I'll leave you with a few stories. One that was told many years ago. It was 1929. Babe Ruth was being interviewed by a number of the press because Mr. Ruth received a higher salary than the President of the United States, Herbert Hoover. And they asked Mr. Ruth why he was going to earn more as a baseball player for the New York Yankees than Mr. Hoover was as President of the United States. And he responded, "I had a better year." And the story of Abraham Lincoln, who tells about a farmer who headed down the road one day when suddenly another farmer's dog came out on the road and started to attack this farmer. And to save himself and fend himself off, he took a pitchfork and jabbed at the dog. Just then the owner of the dog came out. He said, "Why did you do that to my dog?" He says, "Why did your dog attack me?" He says, "Well, why didn't you use your blunt end?" He said, "Why didn't your dog attack me with his blunt end?" So sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Your road will be difficult at times. It will take many twists and turns. But we, the faculty, know that you have the courage, the strength, and the conviction to go on, to be successful. We wish you good health. We wish you good fortune. It has been an absolute pleasure to teach you, to instruct you, and to know you. God bless you.
Fellow graduates, family, administrators, teachers, and friends. Our prom song was right. This certainly is a time to remember. Who would have thought when we first met that we would have come this far? Now, here we are, trying to say goodbye. The difficulty with goodbye is that it is often tinged with regret. What have we done? Where has the time gone? There was so much more we could have accomplished. And we think of the advice reiterated by the movie Dead Poets Society, Carpe diem, seize the day, all the while remembering the many hours which slipped idly through our fingers. And yet goodbye is overlaid with hope. It bids us look back to see how much we did achieve together, the times when our grasp matched our reach. It is also a prayer that we may fare well as we go forward to the future. And what does the future hold for us? Opportunity, we are told, a chance to make the best of ourselves and to enjoy the consequent rewards this world has to offer. Unfortunately, the fact is we do not have an equal chance. The diplomas we will carry with us testify that we have passed the same crucible and are equally fit to take on the next phase of life. But the world does not necessarily agree. Color, status, and circumstance sometimes dictate where or how far we can go. That's just the way things are, we are told, and you can't change that. But if there is one thing our years of study should have instilled in us, it is that things need not remain the way they are. And if, fellow graduates, friends, and family, there is one thing we take with us as we leave Nyack High School, or even as if we leave this ceremony tonight, I would hope that it is our resolve to change the way things are to the way they should be. Let me share with you a bit of personal history. A story my mother told me about my great-grandmother. She is born in the Philippines of a Filipino mother and a Spanish father. Unfortunately for her, her father was a Spanish friar. It is said that he fathered several children by different women, and my great-grandmother was one of them. I guess that made him a father in more than one sense of the word. 3 generations later, I'm able to laugh at this slight wrinkle in my family history, but in those days, the stigma. I can just picture my great-grandmother afraid to go out for fear of being stared at, gossiped about, or ridiculed. She must have been mortified at having to admit that her family name was her mother's and not her father's. This was a burden she had to bear through no fault of her own, but because of the circumstances of her birth. Had she lived in our times, maybe she wouldn't have had to bear so heavy a burden. People today seem more tolerant of what, during her time, was almost cause for stoning. And yet, in our times, we bear a similar burden. We are born of different shades of flesh, of varied circumstances, and we are judged according to stereotypes, each with its dictated place in the social ladder. Although this is an unfortunate situation which permeates all of society, I believe that it can be remedied. How then can we change things? Beating up on the Rodney Kings of the world does not do it. On the other side of the coin, venting our frustrations by rioting, looting, anarchy, and violence only serves to widen the fissures separating us. If we could strip off our skins like those aliens in the movie Cocoon, perhaps we might see the inner selves and not be concerned with the outer covering. Is this a Hollywood pipe dream? Or if a genetic researcher could alter the genes that determine color and ethnic physical characteristics so that all of our offspring could come out as one, would we be the better for it? I don't think so. Sameness does not guarantee oneness. The solution must come from each one of us, in our diverse stations of life, in our own way. The world we live in has some 5 billion people living on less than 50 million square miles of land, or roughly 100 people per square mile. If you walked 1 square mile in one day, you might not even encounter those 100 people. But if you did meet them, that would be 100 chances to interact with another person, to influence his or her thought, feeling, or action, to have an effect on him or her, no matter how small. In our lifetime, many of us will have more than those 100 chances for personal interaction. If at each human encounter we look beyond the outer self to see the person for what he or she truly is, we will have gone a long way toward making the changes we want to take place. Youth is a time to dream. My dream is that generations from now, our children's children can look back on our deepest problems and laugh at them, the way I can laugh at my great-grandmother's problem. My dream is of a world in which our children's children will be judged according to who they are, and not according to how they appear. My dream, and I trust that it is yours as well, is that years from now, we can each proudly say, yes, I helped to unify humankind. As the Nyack High School class of 1992, let us take this dream and make it happen.
ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow graduates. Imagine if there were no hungry people, or if the color of your skin didn't matter. If all the people of the world were truly free. If the children of today could breathe clean air tomorrow, if there was a cure for AIDS, if people disagreed with words and not fists, if there was a warm bed for everyone, if we could all treat a stranger as a friend, if every child had a smile, if a good education was there for all, if war was a word found only in history books, if everyone spoke the language of peace. The world really was like this. Now imagine that. We all know these thoughts are idealistic and not realistic. We hope that one day it will change. But as for today, we must live by the words of Richard Cusick, and I quote, "My spirit takes flight. I am fearless and I am free. To express, to explore, to begin, to be me." With these words of encouragement and the future goals we've set, we, the class of 1992, can make a difference. As for now, we have nothing to be ashamed of. May we cherish all the memories and friendships we've made through the years. May we realize our highest potential, achieve our greatest goals, and discover all the wonders life has to offer. Congratulations and best of luck. Dr. Ostacher, on behalf of the senior class, I am pleased to present to you a gift from the class of '92, which we hope will enhance the outer appearance of the building and spell out to the public that it's Nyack High School. We are donating letters, which will be placed on the outer facade of the building in the main entrance.
Thank you, Stephanie. On behalf of the Nyack High School community, we accept this gift. We hope to have it installed over the summer so that when the graduates come back to visit us before they go off to college, we hope it's up there to adorn the building. Thank you kindly. We are adorning a new building, but for this graduating class, they spent 2 years in this building. And I think it's worthy of noting that tomorrow, when the middle school goes into this building, it will be their last day there. And at this point, the community, probably next year, will determine the fate of that building. Tomorrow may be the last day it sees regular classes for the regular instructional program of the people of this community, the young people of this community. I'd like to take a moment before I speak to just get a sense of how many of you out there, not necessarily the class of '92, but how many in the audience out there were graduates. And I'm going to ask in a formal way, I guess. I see people who I taught for the 17 years I taught in that building. I know, including a 50-year graduate on stage, and some others on stage of many who have graduated from that building. I would like only those who graduated from this high school and or worked in this high school to applaud. I find that a very impressive statement for the community. This is a focus of our community. It's a magnificent sight. Honored guests, parents, relatives, friends of our graduates, and members of the class of 1992. This night is one that you've invested and you've worked over a decade to achieve. It is a milestone in the series of events that brings you to the threshold of your adult station in life. We are about to confer upon you the diploma, signifying your successful completion of a course of study that was designed to prepare you to be a knowledgeable citizen in our democracy. Democracy, that precious hallmark of our society, that was embedded in our Constitution that was ratified 2 centuries ago. Democracy, the dream of those across the globe, from the former Soviet Union to South Africa, to United Germany, or areas of the Middle East. Democracy, that precious jewel that we take for granted in our free society. The Nyack Public Schools helped lay the educational foundation for your future and the future of our democracy. But democracy, by its very nature, is determined by the individual and his or her character. Do not imagine that character is determined at birth. We have been given free will. Any person can be as righteous as Moses or as evil as Saddam Hussein. We ourselves decide whether to make ourselves learned or ignorant, compassionate or cruel, generous or miserly. No one forces us. No one decides for us. No one drags us along one path or another. We ourselves, by the power of choice, choose our own way. That is the strength, that is the essence of a democracy. As I look out at you this evening, I am confident that we, the school community and your parents, have carefully laid out for you over these past 12 years a foundation that will successfully guide you into the future. Over the next decade, most of you will settle into a career and be raising a family. Over the next decade, every bit of knowledge we imparted, and more importantly, every bit of skill in how to learn new material and adapt to change that is required in a vibrant democracy, will be tested. In 10 years, you will be almost 30 years old. You will be about to take on the leadership of our country. We will have just completed the year 2001. I hope, and I pray, that you will not be dealing in a space odyssey, nor in Star Wars, but that you will show our generation and future generations the path to peace and brotherhood for all mankind. Truly, students who come out of Nyack High School, a multi-diverse community, are best prepared for this mission. We look to you for that leadership. We wish you well. Our hopes and our prayers are with you. Come back and visit us. Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Maxwell Rigsby, President of the Board of Education, who arrived shortly ago because this is the second graduation he's attending tonight. He was honored as an honored guest at the Sleepy Hollow High School graduation, where he serves as the Director of Guidance. President of the Board, Mr. Rigsby.
Graduating seniors, parents, guardians, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Berkowitz, Dr. Ostacher, faculty, staff, family, friends. I've given a great deal of thought to what I would say to the graduating class of 1992. However, at this point in the graduation ceremonies, I am sure you've just about had it with the speeches. And what you would really like is for us to get on with the awarding of diplomas. Therefore, my comments will be brief. I just have a few thoughts that I would like to share with the graduating seniors this evening. Hopefully, my comments will serve to reinforce what you already know what you have learned over the past 12 years and what you have heard this evening from your classmates and other distinguished speakers. None of you have gotten to this point and this place at this time by yourself. During your school years in Nyack, you have been surrounded by many caring and supportive people. Your parents, teachers, counselors, family, and friends. These are people that you admire, respect, trust, and love. These are people who have been there for you during the good times and the bad times. These are people who have helped you get to this point and this place at this time. As you move into the next phase of pursuing your career, many of you will leave Nyack. I strongly encourage you not to forget the people who have given so much of themselves to help you achieve your goal of completing your high school education. Use their teaching and counseling wisely. In your new environment, wherever it may be, I further encourage you to continue to seek out those people who will be supportive and reinforce all the positive and wonderful things you have learned during your school years here in Nyack. I am firmly rooted in the belief that all people, and especially young people, need positive role models and mentors in their lives. For me, a positive role model mentor is that person you appreciate, value, respect, care about, look up to, trust, admire, and love. It is that person whose character helps to shape your character. That person whose value system helps you to determine your value system. That person you can believe in and depend upon. That person who teaches you to care about yourself and to respect others as they care about and respect you. That person who will help you chart a rewarding course as you maneuver through life. During my years, I have been very fortunate to have a number of people who have been and are my role models and mentors. Without them, I would not be at this point and at this place at this time. Finally, I will share with you a few quotes from a book a friend gave me. Many of the quotes remind me of sayings my very, very special mentor would say to me as I journeyed through life. I hope they will cause you to pause for a moment and reflect. Think about your future and think about those people who will be there to help you make it the best future possible. The quotes are taken from a book entitled, P.S. I Love You. When Mom wrote, she always saved the best for last. Quotes. Everyone you meet knows something you don't know, but need to know. Learn from them. No failure is ever final, nor is success. People will help you succeed. Find them. Promise only what you can deliver. Then deliver more than you promise. If you must follow, know where the leader is heading. True wealth is what you are, not what you have. If you keep waiting for the right time, you may never begin. Begin now. Begin where you are and with what you are. The Board of Education and the entire Nyack school community would like to thank you for all that you have given us the past 12 years. Thank you.
I would ask that the class of 1992 please rise at their seats. As the principal of Nyack High School, I am pleased to present to you, Mr. Rigsby, those members of the class of 1992 who have met all the requirements for their diploma.
As president of the Board of Nyack, by the power vested in me by the New York State Board of Regents, I accept for graduation those qualified candidates of the Nyack High School class of 1992.
I would ask that the class be seated at this time in the first row, come forward to receive their diplomas.
Nadia K. Aboud. Jeffrey Joseph Adams. Tara Albert. High honors. Regina C. Alcacid. Natasha Joanne Alexander with honors. Stephen Harry Alter with honors. Lori Jane Bernard with honors. Michelle Bocardi with honors. Anastasia Maria Boland. Stephanie Bonanno. Megan Bonomalo with high honors. Jason Paul Bookwalter. Gilbert Bordeaux. Evan Landon Boyer with high honors. Lori Ann Brooks. Marissa Zoe Brooks. Shauna Renee Bullis. Gregory Buoningcontri with honors. Theodore Charles Burgett. Jarrett Burnett. Lori Latrice Burns with honors. Larissa Jacqueline Cartier. Charles Daniel Catalan with honors. Valerie Catapang with honors. Genevieve Seraldi with honors. Jason McDean Chambers with honors. Jean-René Kouachi. Rachelle Coleman with honors. Carol Ann A. Panetta. Dion Cooper. Rodney Antonio Corpus with high honors. Michael William Coyle. Heather Robin Crowley with honors. Carolyn Cunningham with high honors. Michael Joseph Curdy. Robert Darnabid, absent with permission. Catherine A. Decker. John DeMercy. Sheila M. DePeter with high honors. Miranda Desir. Brian Donnelly. Ronnie Dorsenville. Matthew C. Duff. Laura Duggan. Elizabeth M. Durkin. Nicole Durack. Heather Linnea Dykes with honors. Michelle Erdhart. Jennifer B. Elkin with honors. Steve Estavern. Eric Fiseme. Keith B. Furstenberg with high honors. Robert Orette Flowers. Lily Dineen Foreman. Rose Darly Francois. Peter Joseph Gasparini with high honors. Guy Nicholas Gebbia with honors. Corinne Jeanette Gahagan with high honors. Yolanda Melissa Gilmore with high honors. Brendan William Gerard with honors. Rebecca Lynn Goldman with high honors. Edward C. Grigsby. Mujib Gullifield. Meredith Carey Guzzler with high honors. Jermaine Harris. Cedric DeMond Hawkins. Sean Clinton Hesselgrave. Theodore James Histowski. Thomas Patrick Higgins with honors. Deborah Jean Housel with honors. Andrew Joseph Hubschman with high honors. Michael Joseph Human. Eve Altagracia C. Innocent with honors. Dawn M. Johnston. Isadora Jones. Gerda Joseph. Laura Joseph. Michael Joseph. Michelle Kane.
Andre Michael Kanelitz. Daniel A. Catcher. Mary Amanda Kay with honors. Don Anthony King. Joseph Barrett King. Monica Elizabeth Kohler with honors. Tamar Kushner with high honors. Thomas Francis Langer. Andrew Francis Lazaroff with honors. Sarah Rachel Levy. Marion Margaret Licari. Wade J. Lynn. Jenny Marie Lennon. Asia Catherine Lopez. Kurt Meyer, absent with permission. Lauren Mayo. Marlise Claudia Makosi with high honors. Mark Ronald Marcello with high honors. Ophelia Martinez with high honors. Jamie Basari. Crystal May. Violet Merjanian with honors. Alexandra Michelle with honors. Brendan L. Miller with honors. Daphne Miller. Des Willie Miller. Amy D. Morey with honors. Christopher George Morse. Brian E. Murray with high honors. Carolyn Napoli. Janet May Eng with high honors. Supasak Nilpicharat, absent with permission. Greg Vincent Nobile. Christopher Edward Nolte with high honors. Christopher John Pade with high honors. Jennifer Pagano. Melissa M. Paquette. Christina Lee Peterson, high honors. Luckman Pierre. Petrus Pierre. Jeffrey Herbert Pillarge. Rolando Cruz Ploblet. Kenneth Jude Pomeranke. Leonette Racho, absent with permission. Christian Rivera. Sandra Maria Rodriguez with high honors. Colleen Ross. Craig William Russell Jr. with high honors. Michael Joseph Saki. Althea C. Salgado. Joanna L. Salgado with high honors. Mark Richard Santos. Carrie Ann Sarter with honors. Colleen T. Sayers with honors. Charles Anthony Scarpula. Rachel Sarah Schoenbaum with high honors. Jennifer Schwab with high honors. Kristen Shirillo. Kristen Ren Sensenig with high honors. Nitra Niku Sexton with high honors. Lawrence David Shapiro with honors. Sally Tricia Sharkey with high honors. Jessica S. Silverstein. Edwin Simon. Karen Zoe Sirocco. Christine Ann Skinner with high honors. Angela L. Sprower. Farah Natalie Saint Amand with honors. David Merrigan Stark with high honors. Denise Ruth Stevens with honors. Elena A. Stokes with high honors. Michelle Renee Stokes with honors. Corinne Marie Sullivan. Jean Tadal with honors. Cynthia Ann Taisner. Joseph R. Thompson, absent with permission. Eric Claudius Tianu with high honors. Tara Lynn Torres. Gregory Niles Tully. John Vassar. Tamar Verdul. Dana Angel Vitalhern. Brigitte Christine Wagner with honors. A fourth-generation graduate of Nyack High School, Wanda V. Wells with high honors. Maura Elizabeth Whalen with honors. Terry Lee Whitney. Tisha Will with high honors. Jamie A. Williams. Alethea Ann Wojcik. Spencer Brian Wolf with honors. Terrence Joseph Worms with honors. Timothy John Worms. Cammie Renee Wright with high honors. Roy R. Wrighton. Alexander Yankovich, Jr.